Street Bang TV. We're with Pastor Gino Jennings. Peace, brother. How are you doing today?
All right, brother.
This
And yourself?
evening. I'm good. I'm
Good,
blessed.
good.
Just want to first mention how I came across you, flipping through the channel sometimes, catch you on TV, but most recently on Instagram, there's a video clip of you standing on stage and it's a European Jesus.
Yes.
This is not Jesus.
I received a whole lot of response from that.
Yeah.
In fact, that actual clipping was downloaded to a hip hop network.
Oh yeah.
It just went on a frenzy.
Oh yeah. It's going rampant through Instagram.
Yeah.
But what made you put that message out there?
Well, first and foremost, Jesus' color
Okay.
never was a controversial topic of no form in the Bible.
Okay.
No one in the Bible was concerned about the color of his skin.
Of course.
It was the European that made it a necessity to make Jesus look like them. And the reason why the European done this,
Right.
because if the people of color, like you and I and other people of color all around the world, will look at Jesus as being white, then they would pray to Jesus and also exalt the European as being greater than them,
Right.
and then also demote themselves as being less than the European. So I find that the white Jesus that's been in all the churches throughout America and the world,
Right.
that image is used to depress people of color and keep them looking up to white
Right.
and keep them not loving themselves. So my objective is to show them Jesus from a biblical perspective,
Right.
and not a European perspective, which is a big difference.
Right. And speaking of loving yourself, we got a lot of brothers and sisters on the streets. Do you have a message for them to kind of
Oh yes, most definitely. The scripture teaches us to love your neighbor as yourself.
Right.
And this is the reason why you have so much bloodshed, so much killing, so much murder, because you don't love yourself.
Right.
I cannot properly respect you and treat you right if I don't respect my own self.
That's right.
And treat myself right. A man will not treat his wife right if he don't love himself.
Oh yeah.
I won't treat my blood brother right if I don't love myself. So you find our young brothers and sisters around the streets of America is killing themselves over the most simplest reasons. I don't have the same color as you do.
Right.
We utilize colors to identify ourselves as being associated as gang members.
That's right.
So if we don't have the same color handkerchief, the same color scarf, the same color jacket, the same color pants, arguing about a street corner or a turf that don't belong to no group,
Right.
because it's not like you're paying taxes to keep it.
Yeah.
So what I find is hypocritical, and some has criticized me for what I'm about to say. It is hypocritical for people of color to march through the streets of America
Right.
and express anger when a white cop kill a black brother,
Okay.
but yet the white cop just simply did what the blacks are doing to each other.
Right.
The only difference is the color of the pigmentation of his skin. So if black brothers and sisters and Hispanics and whites, and regardless what color you are going to petition the streets,
Right.
when a white policeman kill a black man, then that same anger and that same crowd should come out on the streets on black crime.
Wow. That's real. That's real. So basically, the Black Lives Matter topic.
Yeah, black lives do matter,
Yeah.
but the question is, to who? The topic is good.
Yeah.
The heading is good.
Right.
Black lives matter. But
Okay.
now you must ask yourself, to who?
To who?
Do black lives matter to black people?
Right.
I preach in the prisons of America,
Yeah.
and 95 or 90% of the inmates are black brothers.
Yeah.
And so, if black lives matter, and they do, why do they want to kill each other?
Right.
Why do I want to kill you over a chain you have on your neck? Or young 13-year-old want to hold you up and take your wallet. I mean, what kind of joy do a young black man get out of raping someone's grandmother?
Right.
80-year-old grandmother.
Yeah.
See, what these young brothers and sisters fail to realize, the scripture teaches us, you shall reap what you sow. So I say this to brothers and sisters of all races. Have you ever considered some of the madness that comes in your life is as a result of the madness that you afflict upon others?
Wow.
Have you ever considered that some of the chaos that come in your life is as a result of the chaos you brought in the lives of others? Some fathers, they get enraged, and rightfully so, if their daughter was raped. But did you rape someone else's daughter when you was a young man?
Wow.
It is this type of thinking that we don't do. God don't lie. He said you will reap what you sow.
Wow. Can we let's touch on reality TV and what's going on the networks now?
The reality TV is one of the largest multi-billion-dollar industry that is out now.
Right.
But if you look at the reality TV that is out, have you noticed it's centered around people degrade themselves?
Yes, sir.
I mean, what type of family programming is it looking at women from Atlanta or women from New York just call each other the B word and pull each other fake hair out and knock each other it is foolish.
Right.
And it's always centered around the same thing, arguing and fussing about who man you can get and who man you're sleeping with. It is foolishness.
Right.
So then you have the reality television shows that's promoting homosexuality, trying to convince young people that you do have another alternative, that young men don't have to marry young girls and young girls don't have to marry young men, but you can marry each other.
Wow.
So if you look at the reality television, it's simply another way of showing you how real the devil is. Yes, reality TV. And it shows you how real the devil is. It shows you how real hypocrisy is. It shows you how real wickedness is. It shows you how real the human family attitude is and their rejection towards God and just basic morality.
Wow.
Then you have reality television in the form of religion, the preachers of LA. Now, who in their right mind?
Right.
If a man is a straight up sinner and live like the devil and don't have nothing to do with church, his own intelligence and common sense will tell him that's not church.
Yeah.
The preachers of LA, anyone that have any sense of intelligence, no, that's not church. They don't have nothing to do with church. It's nothing but mockery. It's nothing but religious racketeering. They take the name of Jesus and use it and abuse it to make money.
Wow.
So who would ever think that it would get that bad? But again, it fulfills what's written in the scriptures. The scriptures teaches that evil men and seducers shall wax worse and worse, deceiving and being deceived. So this reality television, it's real. It's real foolish. That's what it is. It's very foolish.
One of the other realities that's going on right now is the campaign and elections. Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton. Have you been paying attention at all?
I'm one that love the news. I love to know what's going on around the world because I travel around the world a lot.
That's right. Yeah.
And most time you can't find these politicians until the election time.
Yeah.
They don't even come in your neighborhood until the election time.
Oh yeah.
And it's the same promises in most cases that they don't keep. It's a sales pitch. Politicians, Democrat or Republican, are salesmen and saleswomen. They sell you some type of theme that sounds good, sounds appealing,
right?
Because they know what the people want and they also know what the people need. But the most pathetic one that I've seen run for office since I've been born is Donald Trump.
Wow.
He's a waste to humanity. He's a bigot. He's racist.
Oh yeah.
And one of the reasons why the Republican Party want to distance themselves from him and shut him down because his ignorance caused him to say loudly what the Republican Party been saying quietly.
Right.
And they don't like the idea he's voicing loudly what they say behind closed doors. Here's a man that was asked, what is your foreign policy?
Right.
And how do you learn foreign policy, you know, to know what's going on around the world?
Right.
His response is he learned by watching television. He learned by watching CNN or MSNBC or Fox. A president who act like a child, you know, he attacked another politician's wife. I mean, it sounds like something from grade school.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
your girlfriend don't look good as my girlfriend. So he doesn't have that presidential air about himself. To me, he's nothing but a rich, spoiled brat. When he cannot have his way, he cry the blues. He loved to throw stones, but when stones thrown back at him, he can't take it, which shows the coward side about him and the weak side about him. He would be incompetent mentally and emotionally in any other way as being a president of the United States. Very incompetent.
It's thinking people, you know, anybody should be able to see that. But then you get a group of black pastors who come to his aid, rescue, need, or whatever whatever you want to call it.
If you look at a lot of these quote unquote black ministers,
Right.
a lot of them is already handicapped or handcuffed by the system. And what I mean by that is this. A lot of time they already have governmental programs attached to their church.
Wow.
So they would do anything to promote who they feel as though would be the next candidate that will help keep the subsidies flowing to their church. And so they don't want to cut their cash flow down. So if the devil came out of hell himself and ran for office, you will find a bunch of so-called pastors who claim to represent Jesus voting for the devil and have their followers doing the same thing.
Right.
So it is not surprising. It really isn't surprising at all.
Yeah. I caught a debate you had with one of the Nation of Islam brothers.
Yes, sir.
I don't know how long ago it was.
I believe it was in 2005.
Yeah.
It was with the brother Smallwood Muhammad.
Right.
And Smallwood Muhammad, I mean, he's a good brother.
Okay.
But he just got himself into something that he wasn't prepared for.
Oh, yeah.
The next discussion I had was with the East Coast, I believe, regional minister. It was Rodney Muhammad.
Okay.
Who was also a good brother.
Right.
But he just presented a teaching that was totally unscriptural, and he wasn't prepared for it.
Right.
And I've been hearing from the Nation of Islam ever since.
Ever since.
Yes.
What do you think about the Million Man March?
The Million Man March, there's a black historian, he passed away now, that I always admire, and I always respect his knowledge of history.
Right.
His name was Dr. Henry Clark.
Oh, yeah.
Dr. Henry Clark made a statement that marching is nothing more than a tactic.
Right.
And he said, it's time to get rid of the tactic and get into something of substance.
Right.
I mean, to see a bunch of men, young, middle-aged, and old, of color,
Yeah.
which was beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
But proof that it was productive is when you see something productive out of the march.
Real talk.
Since the march, brother, the brothers still haven't stopped killing themselves.
Yeah.
The brothers are still raping. The brothers are still sodomizing. The brothers are still murdering. The brothers are still stealing. The brothers are still, you can go in many of your major cities. Down here in Columbia, I don't know whether they, you see your big billboards.
Right.
Well, in a lot of areas they have electronic billboards. Well, I mean, when I'm on the major highway in Philadelphia, you can see on the major billboards, warning. And a criminal face will come up.
Wow.
And most time, it's the face of a black man.
Yeah.
So the question is, what did the Million Man March do? You hear a lot of the ministers in the Nation of Islam, they say, let us keep the spirit of the Million Man March. And I do understand what they're saying.
Right.
But the spirit that was there, what did it produce? Anybody can march, but marching to protest is good.
Yeah.
But if you want to get things done, you have to better yourself. You cannot better a community until the people of that community better themselves.
That's right.
You cannot better a neighborhood until the houses and those that live in that house better themselves. Otherwise than that, we'll be marching, changing shoes just to make our feet feel better and still be non-productive. Think of it now.
Yeah.
Here it is, the 21st century. And we are marching for the same thing that we were talking about in the 20th century and in the 19th century. So the question is, will they be marching in the 21st and 22nd and 23rd century?
Wow.
So the question is, what's going to come out of it? What did the brothers do? When I say brothers, I mean all brothers of color.
Oh, yeah.
What did they do? Are the fathers now a better example to their children, to their sons, than they were before the Million Man March took place? Do the young men respect the women more since the Million Man March took place?
Oh, yeah.
Have it been less crime? Have it been less stealing? Have it been less bloodshed?
Right.
Have the gang violence ceased? And I commend Minister Farrakhan for meeting with the various gang leaders.
Yeah.
You know, I commend the brother. He's out there in the streets meeting with the gangs, trying to defuse the madness that is in them.
Yeah.
And so I commend them, and I do respect that.
Right.
But it's like winding up a toy. If you wind up a toy, eventually the power gonna run out. So the question is, how often are you gonna have to run and wind that toy up again?
Oh, yeah.
Until we love ourselves, first respect God. Get the knowledge of God, and then you'll have the knowledge of yourself. And when you get the knowledge of God, then you know why your reason for living. You'll know the purpose that God have us here, to respect each other and love each other. And that cannot be done if we hate God and don't love God. It just can't be done.
Real talk. Hey, I'm not gonna hold you up.
I don't mind.
These questions really did fill me up. I want to be able to, get my place out there, but I do appreciate your time. What's next on the list for you? Are you going state to state?
Well, we're in our youth conference now, in Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah.
After this, I'll be in the Dominican Republic.
Wow.
And God willing, after this, we'll be settling on our new international headquarters campus.
Cool.
We thank God for making that happen.
Yeah.
Then we got trips coming up to in Europe.
Wow.
And as you can see, the chaos that is taking place in Europe
Yes, sir.
With the terrorists and the media who tries to make this just a Islamic thing, wherein terrorism is just a wicked thing.
Yes, sir.
I don't care what religion you are. If you're killing, gang violence is terrorism.
Yes, sir.
Racism is terrorism. Rape is terrorism. When these young brothers hold up a family and steal from them and rape their sons and sodomize them, that's terrorism. So terrorism come in different forms.
Right.
Gang violence, all this is terrorism. So this is not just something that is happening in the Middle East and in Europe. It's happening in the neighborhoods of America.
Yes, sir.
You got the police force, many of them are terrorists. Many of them still are just Ku Klux Klan men. All they did was just change the color of their uniform.
Wow.
They just traded in the white sheets for blue uniforms. Not all of them, but many of them.
Yeah.
So terrorism is coming in many forms. You got terrorists in the pulpit who are deceiving and tricking and lying to our people, that is hiding behind the doors of religion.
Wow.
They lied to them, they tricked them, they used them, they hustled them out of their money. So they terrorized them by abusing them spiritually and abusing them emotionally and abusing them mentally. And they do all this hiding behind the name Jesus, so the people in that church don't realize they don't have nothing but a backward collar, cross-wearing, Bible-toting terrorists that hide behind the name Jesus.
Whew.